Peaceful rising, y'all. That window is usually dark back there. It's actually morning. It's 7:31 a.m. on the East Coast, and this is day 31 of Triggered to Transform. I'm Goddess Shatoya, and welcome back. If this is your first day, welcome here. I'm glad you found the space. This is the Learning Lab, where we use our triggers to transform our lives and evolve our soul. That's it. I'm so grateful to be here. I like to start this space with a moment of transparency about what's happening in what you all see, right? And it's just really to stay connected to the space, because I can come on here with a script and just teach about some stuff. But I think the evidence of the work is in how we're able to share what it is that we're experiencing, so that we can maybe mirror someone who's reflecting the same thing, right? So yesterday, I woke up ready. I started cleaning, did the laundry, all these things, swept my floors, wiped down the counters, cleaned the bathrooms. As I feel like I hadn't really done all that since I came back from DC, washed clothes. That's what a part of my vision was for this thing, is to fold these towels while I'm talking to y'all. But since we came back from DC, and so I really took some time to get that stuff done. And at the end of the night, the dryer stopped working and I conked out. I called my auntie and I was like, can I please come to your house in the morning to to dry my clothes? She's like, yeah, baby, come on. I'll dry my towels. And that's just because I prefer not to go to the laundromats in town. I don't ever feel safe at the laundromats in town. So I typically don't go, and I've tried several. So I don't go. And so I was going over to my aunt's house anyway, because I need to, yes, I'm folding my towels, okay? Because I need to, she's going to help me create my merchandise for Trigger to Transform. That's what's actually happening. We're creating the sweatshirt today, and that's going to be the Trigger to Transform logo, if you will, the branding, font, and all that other stuff, right? And so I was just like, it was easy anyway. I just had to ask her permission. So I laid down and conked out, truthfully, and I didn't record, which is what I usually do at night before I go to bed. But I had no more in me, apparently, and I had to respect that. I had to honor that within me. Did it set me off schedule, or what I thought was off schedule? No, because what it did was help realign me to what it is that I really want, is to come in here first thing in the morning when I'm fresh and bushy. And it's not the end of the night after I've had to do all the things. But I think there's a nice and significant balance to being able to do it both ways. So I'm interested to see how that's going to work out as well, right? That's why I felt that way. Okay. So, right. Okay. So yes, I have to acknowledge the feelings as I am experiencing them sometime. Like, oh, that's why I felt that heaviness, because I didn't do blah, 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 blah that I said I was going to do, or the way that I felt like I was instructed to do it. And I say instructed as in my divine self, like giving me steps to show up in this way. And so just now I realized that my agreement with myself was that I was going to do the goddess card reading, and I hadn't done it. I hadn't gone over. I just came here to do this because this was also on my mind. And so I had to be like, oh, so that's what that is. And everything's fine. It's fine either way it flows. Just don't forget, just stay in awareness to stay in track. So that's where I'm at. That's the transparency of where I'm at, and allowing myself to be where I am. Right. And having this space to share with you all and see your reactions and hear your experiences supports all of us in really demonstrating our self-leadership, the amount of awareness that is required when we are operating in a space of a few words came up like evolution, where we're operating in space with other people and we're being held accountable for being accountable and being responsible and those things in different situations. And again, I don't say that as in that's where it's only happening at work. That's happening everywhere in your life. If you have children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, aunts, parents, at some point you will be more in a responsible role for your parents as well, right? And so just looking at the entire picture of what it is that we're up to without judging or making myself wrong or any of that, right? Just really seeing it for what it is. And that's what we talked about on yesterday. I'm really trusting the process. And when I'm distrusting the process, there's certain ways that I show up. Right? If I'm distrusting the process, I may be shrinking, I may be judging or judgy, I may be using gaslighting, manipulation, lies. I may be in a sense of confusion. We've talked about confusion before, right? So today, I really want to bring up safety rituals, if you will. I'm going to kind of shift the curriculum just a little bit. And I'm telling myself that as a note to myself, y'all. Sometimes you have to just ignore what I'm saying because I'm talking to myself. Or if it applies to you, carry it on. But, okay. So I'm going to shift the curriculum a little bit where safety rituals is going to come before relational fragmentations because of how this showed up in the natural way of being today. Right. I was, I can't say I was exhausted. That's not true. See, it's the languaging. I went to sleep. I'm a human. I humaned a lot. And then the human was like, no more. And so I went to sleep. That was a safety ritual for my body. She knew that she needed to rest. I didn't sleep very long because I laid down at like 11 again. I was up at 3 o'clock this morning. Right. And so I needed that time to repair something within myself to come back and be able to do the things that I was doing, right? And so what I'm also getting in this very moment is that time is a continuation and not this boot block, right? No matter when I need a nap, I take a nap, I get up and I keep going. I nap, I get up, I keep going. I nap, I get up, I keep going. And that is the rhythm that I prefer to be in. Right? So that is another safety ritual for me, to be in flow of what's actually happening and not be so wrapped up in the time that it's taking or the time that it's happening, right? We live in a 24-hour continuum. And so inside of this continuum, I'm not bound, if you will, to these certain fragments of time called day and night and noon and morning and things like that, right? I'm inside of the flow. And I understand that better because I said I wasn't going to forget, but I think it was Ethiopia, that their time starts when the sun rises. Like technically now it's a new day in Ethiopia. In my frame of reference, it's a continuum from the time the sun set yesterday until the time it comes back up today. So there's I said that to say that it's okay to look at different perspectives as you are navigating yourself to find out where you lie in that, right? That has a lot to do with how we are exposed and our DNA is, and like the overall understanding of who we are. So Another safety ritual, I would say, and some may call this regulating your nervous system, but we're going to call them safety rituals that we can perform. And I use that word loosely. I do not. That we can practice. That's a more transformative word for me. We're practicing, to tell ourselves the truth. You got to say that thing to yourself. That thing that you've been avoiding, that thing that seems that you want to play delusional about. You want to pretend that it's not happening, that thing. It's really bothering you. It really kind of eats you up on the inside. Just a little bit or a lot. Just a little bit or a lot. And you have been tapped out of it for far too long. But in karma, only midway, because subconsciously you know that thing still exists. I don't know what it is. It may be that you like to use the butt of the crayon. But whatever it is that you've not been telling yourself the truth about, and when I say not telling the truth, let me be very transparent in my words. When we're not telling the truth to ourselves about things, it may show up as self-righteousness. We may start to outline ourselves and paint ourselves in a way that we aren't, for the illusion to continue that we are. Sometimes that's even happy. We would rather pretend to be happy than to truly tap into what's got us pretending. The next one, I would say, as a ritual to safety in your nervous system, is to show up. Show up. Show up. All those things that you desire, the feelings that you have, the wishes, the dreams, the achieving goals, show up. There's the only way to get to what it is that you say you want. I don't care how many candles you burn. I don't care how much sage you burn. I don't care how much cinnamon you blow. I do not care what the other ritual is. If you are not showing up for yourself, if you are not showing up for who you are, what you believe, and what you're standing on, okay. The third safety ritual is the combat to the confusion, if you will. To me, it's to get curious, ask questions, not in that sarcastic, trying to prove a point way, but really because I'm curious, right? I'm curious. And don't take yourself too serious. That's not what I'm saying, but be curious. Don't take yourself too serious, but be curious. Right? It could be fun. It could be light. What do you mean? What do you mean? I ask people that all the time. Is God is your name? What do you mean? Do you just call yourself that? What do you mean? Do I show up as goddess? Then that's all that matters. Get curious. Ask questions. Don't take yourself too serious, but get curious. The next safety ritual kind of ties into the first one where I say tell yourself the truth. But this is all inclusive. Use your voice. Use your voice. This also goes along with show up. Use your voice. When you get there, it's okay to let your presence be known. What's the Bible says, don't let a rock cry out my place. One of the goddess sisters reminded me of that just the other day. Don't let a rock cry out my place. When you show up with intention, when you show up with your most valuable asset, as a woman, it's going to be your womb and your voice. Come in alignment with the two so that you are speaking with clarity from a place that is creative, soft, that even tone, in integrity, responsible, to be heard and to hear, to listen. Use your voice in a way that it's going to matter. There's a lot of noise in the world right now. This is not going to resonate with everyone. If you're watching this and you see this, like, subscribe, and share. I have not said that the entire video. Somebody write it at the front, please. Because I just come here to be with you all. And some of the admin stuff I will miss, okay? But use your voice in a way that is beneficial. Share this video with someone who is practicing using their voice and someone that is an excellent voice user and is willing to teach other people how to be in powerful possession of this. And if you are in a place where you feel like you're not using your throat chakra appropriately, or you feel suppressed, you got to say something. You got to say something. Right? That's the cure. You got to tell somebody. My voice feels suppressed. I feel like if I speak up, then this is going to happen. And you get in touch with the fear of you using your voice. And you practice every day being in front of the mirror first and then in room with other people. Using your voice in a way that is uncomfortable for you, yet is maturing you, growing you, and stabilizing you. Regulate your nervous system. These are the safety rituals we are talking about today. Tell yourself the truth. Show up. Don't take yourself too serious. Be curious. Use your voice. And next, we are going to talk about faith. Faith is a way to regulate your nervous system. I shared earlier this week about my son who is on his way to college, and it's stressing him out a little bit because he's like, how is this supposed to happen? This was supposed to happen on this day, and they were going to do this on this day, and now I feel like I'm not a student, and I'm like, sir, first of all, everything is fine. Right? But I know that. This is developing my son's faith in a way where he knows no matter what it looks like on the outside, I've got to trust and know that everything's working out. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what it looks like. Everything's working out. I know sometimes we go through situations and it feels super hard. I mean, I know. I hear some stories. People have lost people, just just horrific things that have happened. But when we're operating in a spirit of faith, is it possible for us to keep our faith when times look dismal? And that's a drastic reach from a young man transitioning into college. It feels the same, in an aspect of it sets off your nervous system because you think something's wrong. You just start jerking and twitching it. You can't get calm. Your heart's beating fast. Your stomach hurts. You can't eat. That's your nervous system acting up. But the way to transmute that energy, to alchemize it, if you will, is to get in touch with what is causing that trigger, what is causing you, with your nervous system to trigger itself, and you just all over the place. What is that? That's where the conversation comes from. That's where you get to tell yourself the truth. I don't trust God the way I said I do. I don't trust God as the way I said I do. If I'm operating from a spirit of fear, that's the only other thing. If I'm not operating in faith, if I'm not operating in faith or love, I'm operating in fear. That's all encompassing, be it anger, be it wavering faith, be it sadness, whatever that lower vibration is that is on the continuum of frequency. Wherever you tap in, wherever you got your station set, wherever your channel is, it's your responsibility to fix that. Not your mama's, not your daddy's, not grandma, not uncle, none of those people, okay, are responsible for you, but you. You have to decide, I feel that. I'm going to acknowledge that. I'm going to get myself back in balance, because what I know is it's affecting my health. Because the last time I went to that dang on doctor, they told me my blood pressure was blah, 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 over blah, blah, blah. I've been having headaches. I'm retaining water. The next one is my favorite. I have to say, out of this entire list, okay, it's a decent list, right? But this will uncondition you, if you will. If you start doing this, you'll stop shrinking. If you start doing this, you'll stop judging and being judgy. If you do this, you will stop gaslighting yourself. If you do this, you will stop manipulating yourself and others. If you do this, you will not be lying. If you do this, you will not be in confusion. So this is my favorite. And a lot of us have a really hard time with this one. But we're going to practice today. Okay, we're going to practice a little bit, and then I want you to go into your space and practice some more. Okay. The safety ritual that will save your life is saying no. Up. No. No. Nah. Keep going. Practice. 9. That's German. No. That's sign language. I don't know how you want to say it. I just know that it has to be in full use in your vocabulary all the time, because the more you are yesing and yesing and yesing and yesing, and sometimes it is a yes. And when those yeses come about, they feel great. And we're so afraid of hearing no because we're afraid of saying no. Oh, child, good day. Good day. Okay. I am just here to tell you the truth. Start saying no to these people and yourself. I got to start saying no to myself about things that just sometimes it's got to be put on pause. No doesn't mean forever and ever. No means not in this moment right here where we are right now. No, I'm good. I don't need nothing else. So I got to tell myself that to get in alignment with the things that I am up to, right? And I get to reflect those no's through my own personal boundaries about what I'm not and that I am doing. And anything that does not operate within that gets told no. Absolutely not. Nah, not today. Offers that seem really great, no, it does not. It's not in alignment with what it is that I'm up to. I'm very focused on XYZ right now, and that sounds counterproductive. No. Partners that have left, you want to come back? No. No. That's not. I'm no longer aligned. That's I can't do it. Sometimes the plans change. Don't take it personal. That should be on the list. Self-rituals. I'm going to write it down. Don't take it personal. Okay, that was not the next one, but I'm going to go ahead and go there because I understand all too well about taking things personal and how helpful it is when we don't. Take anything personally, but don't think I don't hear you. And just because it doesn't apply to me doesn't mean you didn't say it. And I wouldn't want that for anybody. So while I'm not taking it personal, I'm not ignoring it either. I'm not. So don't take it personal, but don't ignore it. I hear you. And most importantly, I see you. Okay. I'm going to go back. And these are the last two. And they kind of go hand in hand, but I wanted to break them up just because you need to do one to do the other, and they can happen in either direction, okay? So what I have written down first is take a breath. Now, in order for you to take a breath, you're going to have to slow down, okay? Or as you take that breath, you will slow down. Get more oxygen to your brain and to the inside of your body, to your nervous system by intentionally, I would say every hour, doing 4 to 10 seconds of intentional breathing. That's one cycle of breath. Two cycles of breath. Three cycles of breath. Four cycles of breath. Right? See how we had to slow down for that? Can you imagine if you do that every hour? It doesn't take very long. Probably took less than a minute. But tap into your nervous system in the moment. Tell yourself the truth in the moment. Say no in the moment. Then if you need to reflect on it and balance your equations, I say. Balance your personal checkbook, your trigger checkbook. and use your voice. Stay in faith. Don't take it personal, but don't ignore it. Those are safety rituals. The task for today is to create a 2-minute grounding reset. And I think we accomplished that. We didn't do quite 2 minutes, but we understand to take a breath and slow down. So that can be your first grounding reset. And I've shared on here about how I would stop for 5 minutes before I got to certain centers just so I could breathe before I went in and saw another 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 kids. I've shared with you all that I was a 911 dispatcher for 6 years. Some of the most catastrophic things that happened in our city during that time, I was a dispatcher for, or on duty. And I had to learn to take a breath in the moment. So my nervous system can withstand what it is that is happening around me. So don't be afraid to do that, and take your health seriously, to know that if you're not doing that, your body will pay for it. There will be an activation of some kind. Be it you feel like you can't breathe, be it a headache, be it some sort of signal within your body is going to go off. So be aware that this is more important than, the ha-ha, he-he in it. This is a matter of life and not. And that's important. Okay? All right. So I just got the message from my aunt that she's up. It is 8:03. I'm going to head over there and take my computer with me, because I just got a message also from God Goddess Jade, and she said, hey, I haven't seen anything beyond day 25 of Trigger to Transform. What's going on? And so the videos are coming, y'all. The videos are coming. And as I transition through this, I'm going to continue to record and to post at the suggested speed of the algorithm, and really start to focus in the energy on this next 30 days, closing this 80 subscriber gap, even as close as we get, by performing the task necessary. All right. So stay with me, stay on with yourself, keep coming back into this space for your activation and reflection and introspection of your highest self. That's what we're up to. No matter your faith, no matter what you believe, no matter the religion, the spiritual principles that you stand on, you are the activation of that. And once you are in right alignment with yourself, the principles that you're learning will be fluid in your life. This is application. Okay? Application of you. All right? Thank you again for coming through, and I will see you all on tomorrow. Be well.